Rupa Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we are going to continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9. Does anyone remember any main point from yesterday?
Hare Krishna. So Prahlāda Maharaj was showing his gratitude for his spiritual master Narad Muni, and he prayed to the Lord that he might continue to engage in the service of his spiritual master. So we were hearing about that yesterday.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we can see his humility. He does not want to leave the lotus feet of his spiritual master. He's like, my spiritual master has given me this knowledge. You know, how can I leave his lotus feet? This is real humility.
Hare Krishna. Also,
Hare
another
Krishna.
point is,
Mm.
Hare Krishna. One must first serve the spiritual master, and then when one is qualified, he is automatically offered the platform of direct service to the Lord.
Mm. Yeah, very important. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So we should not be anxious to offer direct service to the Lord. That's
Yeah, going through the spiritual master. Yeah,
spiritual master. We should go through.
yeah,
Hare Krishna.
nice. Thank you. Okay, so going on to today's text then. Does anyone want to say the Sanskrit and we can follow?
I can try.
Okay, try.
एकस्त्वमेव जगते ममुष्य यत्त्वम्
Ekastvameva jagati
आदि अन्तयो पृथक् अव्ययस्य मध्यस्थ च
Adi antayo pratak
गुणाव्यतिकरं निजमायया इदं
Drishtva
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 gunavyatikaram nijamaya
Nijamahedam
नानेव ते अवसित तत् अनुप्रविष्टः
Nante
avashitad anupravishtaha.
Okay, thank you. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, you alone manifest yourself as the entire cosmic manifestation, for you existed before the creation, you exist after the annihilation, and you are the maintainer between the beginning and the end. All this is done by your external energy through actions and reactions of the three modes of material nature. Therefore, whatever exists externally and internally is you alone, as stated in the Brahma Samhita 535. Ekopi aso rachayitam jagat andakotyam yat shaktir asti jagat andachaya yat antaha andantarastha parmanu chayantrastham govindam adipurusham tam aham bhajami. I worship the personality of Godhead Govinda, who, by one of his plenary portions, enters the existence of every universe and every atomic particle, and thus unlimitedly manifests his infinite energy all over the material creation. So here Prahlāda Maharaj is praying to the Lord that you existed before the creation, you exist after the creation is wound up, and you also exist during the creation. And everything is being done. This creation is happening with the modes of nature, action and reaction of modes of nature. You know how we heard earlier in Bhagavatam Mahavishnu, he's lying down, and then material energy is lying dormant at that time. Then he glances at the material energy, and the modes get agitated. Goodness, passion, and ignorance, they get agitated. And then when the modes are agitated, then we get the Mahatattva, we get false ego and ether and sound. Like that, gradually, the creation happens. So, but Mahavishnu exists before the creation. And after all the universes go back into his body, Mahavishnu is still going to exist. Right? And the same Mahavishnu is entering every universe as Garbhodakshai Vishnu. And Garbhodakshai Vishnu is entering every atom of the universe. So this is what Lord Brahma is saying. The Paramatma, he's entered every atom of the universe. So to create this cosmic manifestation, Govinda, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, expands his external energy and thus enters everything in the universe, including the atomic particles. In this way, he exists in the entire cosmic manifestation. Therefore, the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in maintaining his devotees are transcendental, not material. He exists in everything as the cause and effect, yet he's separate, existing beyond this cosmic manifestation. So Krishna, he's Bhaktavatsal, he protects his devotees, and all this is not done in the modes of under the modes of nature. Krishna has no work to do, but yet he does to reciprocate with his devotees. So, like how Prabhupada had also written, we read earlier in Bhagavatam, first canto, that when the Brahmastra was released in Uttara's womb, Ashwatthama wanted to kill Parikshit in the womb. So Krishna, he covers the baby, he protects the baby. So then over there it was mentioned, it's not that Krishna had to enter into the womb. He's already there inside the womb because he's in every atom. So he was already there and he protected the baby. So he was standing outside also. Uttara could see him, and yet he was inside the womb also protecting the baby. So Krishna is there everywhere and he's maintaining his devotees. And that is his love, Krishna's love. So he exists in everything as the cause and effect, yet he's separate, existing beyond this cosmic manifestation. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshva avasthita. The entire cosmic manifestation is but an expansion of the Lord's energy. Everything rests in him, yet he exists separately, beyond creation, maintenance, and annihilation. So he's creating, and he is maintaining, and he is also annihilating. Doesn't mean that God does not exist anymore. God exists. A CEO of a company, this whole company is working by his orders, everyone is following his orders. Doesn't mean the CEO has become all the table and chairs and the computer and the other people. No, the CEO is also there and everyone is following his orders also. So that is just like such a tiny example, such a crude example. So what to speak of the Supreme Lord? The varieties of creation are performed by his external energy. Because the energy and energetic are one, everything is one. Sarva kalav idam Brahma. Because Krishna and his energy. So it's Krishna's energy. So sun and sunshine, non-different. Therefore, without Krishna, the Parabrahman, nothing can exist. The difference between the material and spiritual worlds is that his external energy is manifested in the material world, whereas his spiritual energy exists in the spiritual world. Both energies, however, belong to the Supreme Lord, and therefore, in a higher sense, there is no exhibition of material energy because everything is spiritual energy. The energy in which the Lord's all-pervasiveness is not realized is called material. Otherwise, everything is spiritual. Therefore, Prahlāda prays, Ekastvam eva jagadetam, you are everything. So for Krishna's point of view, his original energy is the spiritual energy. And it's only when we want to forget Krishna, the same spiritual energy acts as a curtain to help us forget Krishna. And that is the material energy then. So actually, the energy, the original energy is spiritual energy. And now, when we want to forget Krishna, we want to see things as separate from Krishna, the same energy, she acts as a curtain to help us forget Krishna, to help us cover Krishna. And that's what is material. Then again, when we want to remember Krishna, the same energy helps us to see Krishna, helps us to serve Krishna. That's spiritual. So that's how everything is spiritual energy. Original energy is spiritual energy. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So then we go on. Okay. Who wants to read this one?
I can try.
Okay.
Tamva idam sadastad ishabhavam stato anyu.
Tvamva idam sadasat
Idam
ishabhavam stato
sadishabhavam tato anyo
Maya yad atma parabuddhir iyam hi apatha.
Maya yad atma parabuddhi iyam hi apartha.
Yad yasya janma nidanam stitir ikshanam cha.
Yad yasya janma nidhanam stati ikshanam cha.
Tadve tad eva vasukala vad asti tarvoha.
Tattva et eva vasukala asti tarvoho.
Okay. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, the entire cosmic creation is caused by you, and the cosmic manifestation is an effect of your energy. Although the entire cosmos is but you alone, you keep yourself aloof from it. The conception of mine and yours is certainly a type of illusion, Maya, because everything is an emanation from you and is therefore not different from you. Indeed, the cosmic manifestation is not different from you, and the annihilation is also caused by you. This relationship between your lordship and the cosmos is illustrated by the example of the seed and the tree, or the subtle cause and the gross manifestation. In Bhagavad Gita 7.10, the Lord says, Vijamam sarva bhutanam vidipartha sanatanam. O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences. So Krishna, he's the cause of all causes. Everything is coming from him. Why does anything exist? Why? Because Krishna exists. Krishna is the creator. Why does the painting exist? Because the painter created it. Because the painter exists, that's why the painting exists. In the Vedic literature, it is said, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yato va imani bhutani jayante and sarvam khalab idam brahma. All this Vedic information indicates that there is only one God and that there is nothing else but Him. So, there's one God and nothing else exists but Him. So, somebody may say that someone may misunderstand that everything has become God or everyone has become God. But to understand it is, God is one, everything belongs to Him, everyone belongs to Him. Everything is His energy, everyone is His energy. So that's how we understand there is nothing else but Him because it's His energy. The Mayavadi philosophers explain this in their own way, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead asserts the truth that He is everything and yet is separate from everything. This is the philosophy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, which is called Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. Everything is one, the Supreme Lord, yet everything is separate from the Lord. This is the understanding of oneness and difference. So one yet different. The Lord himself is different yet is one. How? Because there is his energy. So this is a special contribution of Lord Chaitanya. He came to especially give us this knowledge of Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. Simultaneous one, yet different. The example given in this regard, Vasu Kalavad Asti Tarvo, is very easy to understand. Everything exists in time, yet there are different phases of the time factor, present, past, and future. Present, past, and future are one. Every day we can experience the time factor as morning, noon, and evening. And although morning is different from noon, which is different from evening, all of them taken together are one. So how it is taken together as one? They're all time, no? Morning, noon, evening. The time is passing, yet everything is time itself. So it's one and yet it's different. The time factor is the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the Lord is separate from the time factor. Right? Krishna says, time I am. So Krishna is saying, time I am. So then time is existing. Then does it mean Krishna exists or doesn't exist?
Krishna exists. He always
he
exists.
exists. Yeah. And time is his energy, is his manifestation. So everything is created, maintained, and annihilated by time. But the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, has no beginning and no end. So this is where many get confused, that everything has a beginning. Everything has, okay, why, where is this coming from this? Where is this coming from this? So where is Krishna coming from? But Krishna is no cause. That's why he's called, no, there's no cause to him. He's the original cause of all causes. That is God. He's not dependent on anything else or anyone else. He's completely independent. So everything is created, maintained, and annihilated by time, but the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, has no beginning and no end. He is Nitya Shasvataha, eternal, permanent. Everything passes through time's phases of present, past, and future. Yet the Lord is always the same. Thus, there is undoubtedly a difference between the Lord and the cosmic manifestation. But actually, they are not different. Accepting them to be different is called avidya, ignorance. So we are being said, now we can't even say that they are different. The Lord's energy is one, yet different. If we think something separate from Krishna, that is ignorance. To understand Krishna and his energies, that is complete knowledge. Because God, we say, is omnipotent, right? Omnipotent. So God has many potencies. True oneness, however, is not equivalent to the conception of the Mayavadis. The true understanding is that the differences are manifested by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The seed is manifested as a tree which displays varieties in its trunk, branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore sung Keshava Tuya Jagat Vichitra. My dear Lord, your creation is full of varieties. The varieties are one and at the same time different. This is the philosophy of Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. So there's variety. There's variety in the material world also. There are so many different species, each of us having different body. Yet there is oneness, that it's all belonging to the material energy, and we are all spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna. So although we are different, yet there is oneness. So Chintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. The conclusion given in Brahma Samhita is this: Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarvakarana Karana. Krishna, known as Govinda, is the supreme controller. He has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He's the origin of all. He has no other origin, for he is the prime cause of all causes. Because the Lord is the supreme cause, everything is one with him. But when we consider varieties, we find that one thing is different from another. We may conclude, therefore, that there is no difference between one thing and another. Yet in varieties, there are differences. In this regard, Madhvacharya gives an example concerning a tree and a tree and fire. Both trees are the same, but they look different because of the time factor. The time factor is under the control of the Supreme Lord, and therefore the Supreme Lord is different from time. So Madhvacharya is saying there is one tree which is standing, and we are seeing another tree which is being burnt. So both are tree actually. Both are the material elements. But because of time, one is standing still and one is being burnt. So they are same, but yet they are different. Right? So there is variety, but variety also there is oneness in the variety. So an advanced devotee consequently does not distinguish between happiness and distress, as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.14.8. Tatte nukampam susamikshamano bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. When a devotee is in a condition of so-called distress, he considers it a gift or blessing from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the mood of a devotee. Tatenukampam. That devotee always is thankful to the Supreme Lord. If suffering comes, he says, it's due to my karma I'm suffering. I would have suffered more. Krishna is so kind, he's making my suffering less. And if happiness comes, he says, I don't deserve this happiness, but Krishna is encouraging me. That's why he's giving me this happiness. This is the mood of a pure devotee. And if anyone has this mood, then he's eligible for liberation, goes back home, back to Godhead. When a devotee is always thus situated in Krishna consciousness, in any condition of life, he is described as Mukti Padesa Dhaya Bhak, a perfect candidate for returning home back to Godhead. The word Daya Bhak means inheritance. A son inherits the property of his father. Similarly, when the devotee is fully Krishna conscious, undisturbed by dualities, he is sure that he will return home back to Godhead, just as one inherits his father's property. So the son, the way he can inherit his father's property is that he has to live longer than the father. For sure he will receive the property as long as he lives longer than the father. So similarly, the devotee, as long as in his life he has this mood, tatenukampam, then for sure he will get liberation when he leaves this body. There's no doubt about this. Being grateful, thinking I would have suffered more, my suffering is less. Krishna is mercy, he's making it less for me. And when happiness comes, he thinks himself unqualified to receive that kind of happiness. And he says that's an encouragement from Krishna. And whatever condition he is worshipping Krishna all the time. Even when he's suffering, he's continuing to worship Krishna, offer obeisances to Krishna. And for sure he gets liberated. Any questions, comments?
Hare Krishna, Shilpa ji. So this again proves that how powerful our manoraths are, our desires, our prayers. How powerful are they? Like even if we are just thinking that, right?
Yes.
That, oh Krishna, I'm so thankful to you. if we just thank him and if we think in this way that these miseries could have been much bigger, but due to the mercy of Krishna, I just suffered a very little part of it. So like even just by thinking and just by thanking, he's opening the doors of Golok Vrindavan for us. The doors are open, right? I mean, he's so merciful. Like every time we read a new, deeper meaning of the same shloka appears, and like he seems so close and so lovable and so merciful. So merciful.
Yeah. That's right.
Because it can't be untrue. It can't be untrue. It's written there. And I remember like how Amrendra Prabhu or Adigadada Prabhu said that if it is written, then it has to be true. And why are there so many people telling it? Because they have experienced that joy in this process. So it's true.
Yeah, it's true. Of course. Yeah. So we can see how anxious Krishna is to bring us back home.
Yes.
He's so anxious. He's so eager to bring us.
And
so
still we
as
are
he
lost.
is eager, as he is eager, we need to also get this eagerness, this lolyam. You know, as Krishna is so anxious to be with us, we need also to be this eagerness, the greed to be with Krishna, the lolyam. That is what is needed to see Krishna. Lolyam, greed. And we have so much greed for so many other things, but somehow if we can transfer this greed to be with Krishna, then for sure we'll be with him very easily. Yeah,
Wow.
thank you.
This is really beautiful. Really beautiful. Like, you know, like it gives us the power that we need.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Like how merciful he is.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments? No? Okay, going on. Okay, does anyone want to try this? Sneha, you want to try?
Yeah, I'll try. न्यषेदम् आत्मनि जगद्विलयाम्बुमध्ये शेषेत् मना निज सुखानुभवो निरीहः
शेषे आत्मनो
योगेन मिलितदृक् आत्मनिपितनिद्रस् तुर्ये स्थितो न तु तमो न गुणांश्च युङ्क्षे
Surye sthito
Okay, thank you. O my Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, after the annihilation, the creative energy is kept in you, who appear to sleep with half-closed eyes. Actually, however, you do not sleep like an ordinary human being, for you are always in a transcendental stage beyond the creation of the material world, and you always feel transcendental bliss. As Karanodakshai Vishnu, you thus remain in your transcendental status, not touching material objects. Although you appear to sleep, the sleeping is distinct from sleeping in ignorance. So he is in yoga nidra. You know, sleeping is not like how we sleep and we forget everything. Totally gone. As explained very clearly in the Brahma Samhita 547, ya karana navajale bhajati sma yoga nidram ananta jagat andasaro makupa adhara shaktim avvalambya param swamurtim govindam adi purusham tam aham bhajami. I worship the preamable Lord Govinda, who lies down in the causal ocean in his plenary portion as Mahavishnu, with all the universes generating from the pores of hair on his transcendental body, and who accepts the mystic slumber of eternity. So Lord Brahma is saying this. Lord Brahma is saying Mahavishnu is lying down. This Mahavishnu is who actually? He is a plenary portion of Govinda. Mahavishnu is coming from Govinda. Our original personality of Godhead is Govinda. And so from this Mahavishnu, from his breathing, from his body, pores, so many unlimited number of universes are coming. And he is in this mystic slumber. He's sleeping, but his sleep is not like ours. He's completely conscious even when he's sleeping. The Adi Purush, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna Govinda, expands himself as Mahavishnu. After the annihilation of this cosmic manifestation, he keeps himself in transcendental bliss. The word Yoga Nidra is used in reference to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should understand that this Nidra or sleep is not like our Nidra in the mode of ignorance. The Lord is always situated in transcendence. He is Satchidananda, eternally in bliss, and thus he is not disturbed by sleep like ordinary human beings. We may think, see, I'm also sleeping, Krishna is also sleeping. What's the difference? When we sleep, we're completely gone. We forget everything. We forget even who we are, that we are inside the body, our family, our loved ones, we forget which bed we are sleeping on. We completely forget. But not the Lord. Lord's sleep is not like that. So it should be understood that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in transcendental bliss in all stages. Srimad Bhagavatam concisely states that the Lord is Turiya Sthita, always situated in transcendence. In transcendence, there is no such thing as Jagran, Nidra, Shushupti, wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. We heard that we go through this, right? Wakefulness, sleep, and deep sleep. We are going through this, but not on the transcendental platform. The practice of yoga is similar to the Yoga Nidra of Mahavishnu. Yogis are advised to keep their eyes half closed, but this state is not at all one of sleep. Although imitation yogis, especially in the modern age, manifest their so-called yoga by sleeping. In the Shastra, yoga is described as dhyana vasthita, a state of full meditation, but this meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is meditation upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So meditation is always on the Supreme Lord. We heard how Lord Kapila Dev says, Lord Kapila Dev is the propounder of the Sankhya philosophy. And he says that meditation, the yogi, is meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. He's meditating on the Paramatma in the heart. So never on anything void or anything made up. Dhyana vasthita tadgatena manasa. The mind should always be situated at the lotus feet of the Lord. Yoga practice does not mean sleeping. The mind should always be actively fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. Then one's practice of yoga will be successful. So that is actually yoga. Okay. Fine.
Hare Krishna, Shilpaji. So what they're trying to
Yes.
say here is that the Nidra that Lord Vishnu is in, it's transcendental. It is not like us that there are dreams and, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not gone to
Right? That's
sleep.
what.
Imagine what would
Yeah.
happen if Krishna went to sleep,
Mm,
Everything would be upside down, topsy-turvy.
mm,
No,
mm.
we are sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to sleep, not him.
Okay. So they're just comparing it with that hour is the material one where we dream, we sleep, we wake up, we are in a dream and we forget, and but it's not similar to that. It is the Yog Nidra, transcendental,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Okay.
And so he's completely conscious. He's completely aware of what's happening.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Yeah, it's not that he's forgotten everything. He's gone to sleep like we sleep,
Mm.
deep sleep or dreaming on it. No, he's completely aware. He's conscious. Everything is happening by his will. He's willing, and that's how the universes are coming from him. He's maintaining, and then everything is going back in his body. Yes, we can't do that when we
Yeah.
are sleeping. We can't create anything. We can't cook when we are sleeping. We can't
I
completely
think
do
this
sleep.
happens in a year, right? Once a year, they have that where Krishna, right,
Oh,
goes to
you mean
sleep
when
in
the Lord,
Yoga Nidra.
when the
Yeah, that,
Chaturmasya begins?
that right, 4 months or something. Yeah,
Yeah, when the
is
Lord,
it
they say
now?
the Lord is resting. Yeah, it's going on.
Yeah,
This
he
is the
is going on,
third
right?
month
He
of
moves his
Chaturmasya.
Sarvat, he changes in one of the Ekadashi we read that he
Yeah,
changes his position. He changes to another, like
yeah, that's right.
so. That's the one, right?
So,
Yoga.
yeah, but he's not really
Mhm.
sleeping.
Not
It's not
sleeping.
like
Yeah,
our
yeah,
sleep. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
this is the third month of Chaturmasya going on. Devotees observe the Chaturmas. First month, they don't have spinach. Second month, no yogurt. Third month, no milk. And fourth month,
Mm,
no urad dal.
no,
Like
right,
that.
right.
Yeah, Chaturmas.
And it's
The
like
month of
Sharad,
the
no? So that's at this the same time. Sharad, no?
yes, right
Pitru.
now Sharad is going on. That's
People
right.
don't do any, no? Those activities like buying new things like property or
Yes,
anything, right? Yeah.
yes, that's
Okay.
right. Sharad is going on right now. That's right. And Chaturmas, we also heard like how those Bhakti Vedantas, they were, when Narad Muni was a small child. So 4 months of Chaturmas, they were staying there where the mother was working.
Okay.
So they stayed there for that time. And Lord Chaitanya
Yeah.
also, during the 4 months of Chaturmas, he stayed at the house of Venkata Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta Goswami's parents. 4 months of Chaturmas, he stayed there. So usually the devotees, they don't move around much because it's rainy season anyways.
Right.
So, yeah, it's a so good time to do more of hearing and chanting.
Yeah. Engaging more in
Yeah, and
devotion. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's like,
and then the last month is going to be Kartik. The fourth month of Chaturmas is the month of Kartik. So Kartik coming up soon,
mm,
next month, right? Coming up soon now. In about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, about then, right? I'm not sure the
yeah.
exact date.
After the Shraddh, no? 2nd
Yeah,
October finishes. I mean, that's the last day.
No, it's no. Kartik,
15th,
yeah, about a
15th
yeah,
should be
15th.
15th
Yeah,
or somewhere there.
yeah, because then
Kartik should
after
start.
After the Navratri
Yeah.
After
finishes.
Navratri.
So in
Okay.
about two,
Yeah,
3 weeks,
yeah,
because
about
Kartik starts like 15 days before Diwali about and ends after 15 days of
yeah,
Diwali,
yeah.
about that. So yeah, anyway, we'll stop here for today. Thank you all so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.